Some of you might be wondering what these mounds are to either side of us. These are termite mounds. Termites will gather dirt, mud, sand, and clay, things like that, and gather them into a structure, much like we see all around us. They'll bake for a long time in the sun, become rock hard, and then an elephant will scratch up against it and then bulldoze it over. It'll look a lot like the mound you might see to your right-hand side. And then a gazelle or zebra might perch on top to try and identify predators before they get too close. You might be able to spot those giraffes out ahead of the reserve, everyone. And I am going to inform everybody that the rumors are absolutely 100% true. There are baby giraffes out on the reserve. I know. They are very cute animals. They were born just a few weeks ago. They're still trying to figure everything out. So unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to stop completely for the giraffes, but I will go very slow. A lot of times those baby giraffes are very curious about the vehicles. Oftentimes they'll walk right up if we stop and stop in the middle of the ride path and cause a minor giraffic jam. So we were going to do our best to avoid that this morning.
Look at the giraffe.
There's a lot of animal activity going on. I'm going to go very slow around this curve. Okay, those animals out to the right-hand side of the giraffes, those are wildebeests. They get their name from the Afrikaan word, wildebeest. Can you please stay seated back there for me? Thank you. I know it's hard to see them, but I do need everyone to stay seated.
We're going up that way.
Those wildebeests have the largest migration in Africa. You can actually see that migration from space when it's occurring. Now, those giraffes to the right-hand side are all Maasai giraffes. Now, one by himself out near those palms, that is the reticulated giraffe. It comes from the Latin word reticulata. Reticulata means net-like, so it's a very defined net-like pattern. Okay, it looks like there is a stop just ahead. I'm going to stop right here so maybe someone in the back can still see some of those animals through the bushes. I think there might be an animal stop a few trucks ahead of us, which is a good sign for us, though we may be stopped and our safari might take a little longer than anticipated. We're going to stop right out here in the savanna plains of Africa, something that a lot of people do not get to do and do not get to see. So I know a few people in the back might still be able to see those giraffes. Some of us up here in the front aren't as lucky. But giraffes are very tall creatures. That's what they're known for, about 20 feet tall. When they're born, they're about 6 feet tall, so those babies have a lot of growing to do. And they go synonymous with the very long neck that they have. Does anyone know how many bones are in a giraffe's neck?
Pretty awesome.
I will give everyone a hint. It is a lucky number.
13?
Exactly right, 7 vertebrae. The same amount of vertebrae as a human. That's pretty remarkable.
Fine job, Dennis.
Giraffes also get that reputation for being such lanky and almost clumsy creatures, but they're pretty quick. They can run 30 miles an hour at their top speed there. So they're pretty fast animals for being so large.
Oh, he stopped to get a drink.
I can't find him.
Tiny.
He's got his head down right there.
There it is. Find him.
He must
Come back up.
They put their heads down. Like they don't want to.
They're shy.
Now, if this safari, if this safari is taking a little bit longer than anticipated for some of you, and if you have any type of reservation for lunch or maybe a brunch or anything like that, I don't even know what time it is. I lose track out here in Harambe. But if you have any reservation like that, that might be overdue. Just tell them that you were stopped by an animal. They do understand that we operate on the animal's time and not our own. But as soon as I say that, I think a couple trucks ahead of us are just beginning to move. So we are going to be back on our way in just a moment, everyone. I saw 2 trucks ahead of us move, but the one directly in front of us is staying put. But we should be ready to roll in just a moment. All right, we are back on the move, everybody. So have those cameras out and maybe on a video as we pass by the giraffes here. These are a couple of the animals I'm not allowed to stop completely for.
Tell me what they are.
Showing off their long necks right there. The Maasai giraffes. There's one down on that tree stump as well. And here's the reticulated giraffe. Like I said, comes from the Latin word reticulata. It means net-like, has a very defined net-like border compared to the other giraffes. You might be able to tell the difference. And just past that giraffe out there, those are sable antelope.
Thank you.
The sable antelope is a textbook antelope, if you will. Whenever you hear antelope, you generally think of the sable. It's actually the emblem of the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. The horns on their heads are about 5 feet long. They get longer as they grow older, especially for the males. And their fur coats also get a lot darker as well.
I'm just snapping pictures.
All right, we've had very good luck out there in the savannah. And I think that's going to be very similar to what elephant territory holds for everybody. And we're heading in there right now, elephant territory. And I can actually see the male elephant directly in front of us, right past this tree. Kind of flapping the ears back and forth. Sadly, he's not trying to wave to anybody. They flap the ears back and forth to stay cool out here. Sometimes that alone can cool them down about 10 to 15 degrees. I'm going to stop just past these bushes here. Yeah, and those monkeys to your left-hand side, those are mandrills. It's the largest monkey species in Africa. They're about 100 pounds each. The females are right about 30 pounds. And the males also have those bright, vivid colors on their noses, and sometimes their bottoms. And again, the African elephant is the largest animal in Africa, about 13,000 pounds. Now, despite being the largest animals in Africa, they are still huge targets for poachers. And as they face habitat loss, their interactions with humans become greater and greater. That's harmful to elephants and us as humans, so we want to do everything we can to help those animals out and keep them around for a very long time. Heavily poached because of those ivory tusks. I encourage everyone to do your own education on the conservation efforts for elephants. That'll help us out here on the reserve to keep them around for a very, very long time. That's exactly what we want to do. Yeah, before we do anything, we're going to have to go across this bridge. The truck in front of us had pretty good luck, but I think this bridge was supposed to be fixed earlier this morning, but I'm not exactly sure. Everyone, please stay seated back there when we don't sway to one side or the other. It does not sound good at all up here. If anyone has a lucky rabbit's foot, now's the time to take out that lucky rabbit's foot. But there's the front tires, that means I'm safe. In the back, thank you to everybody who crossed your fingers. We needed all the luck we get to move across that bridge and on with the rest of our safari. Once again, awesome composure and poise back there from everybody in the group. Great resilience. And we are going to need that through the duration of our safari.
That's us.
A lot of traffic up ahead. Once again, a very good sign that there are animals for us to see and identify. We're surrounded by red clay pits right now, used by a myriad of different animals. If you look to your right-hand side of here, you might see some tracks. They look pretty fresh. To me, they look a lot like tusk, maybe trunk marks. We're going to see how fresh they are in just a moment. I think they belong to our friend the elephant. A lot of times, elephants will eat the clay. Clay has different vitamins, minerals, and nutrients they need to survive. Sometimes they'll also throw it on their back as kind of a natural sunscreen. And it looks like those tracks are fresh, everyone. Out here to your left-hand side, these are the elephants. We spotted the male elephant earlier. This right here will be the female elephants and their young. When they're born, they're about 300 pounds. But that is only after a 22-month gestation period. So almost 2 full years of labor before a newborn elephant arrives. Quite the childbirth process for the female mother elephant. I'm going to pause right here just a moment. They are beautiful animals. Again, the largest in Africa. You also might notice some debris on their backs. They do something called dusting. So they'll throw on their backs, again, it's that natural sunscreen. Anything they can do to help protect them from the sun out here. Now, after they're born, they'll stay with their families 13 to 15 years. That's the only other animal in the world that does anything fun like humans do. It just takes us a few more years to figure everything out. And finally, move away from everyone. Yes, there are baby elephants out here, everyone. So keep those eyes open. We should be able to stop about where that truck is and get a very, very good view. We picked up a local Harambe radio station. Everyone sing along if you know the words. That is one of the younger elephants out there to your left-hand side, everyone. You might be able to get a picture just as he walks by that rock right there.
That's a baby elephant.
Got it.
Get it, Mr. Man?
Yeah.
Yeah, the baby elephants do usually steal the show away from everything else out here in Harambe. And they are very cute animals. Something that I've noticed throughout my safaris, whenever it begins to rain, like as soon as it starts raining, those elephants love to come and play in the watering hole up here in the oasis. So if anybody's still around today and it happens to rain, I say come straight to Kilimanjaro. It's very, very cool to see the elephants play around in the water there. And again, a beautiful natural oasis local to Harambe right here. Another baobab tree if you didn't see one before. And up here to the left, these are greater flamingos. Greater flamingos get their name not for their size, but their very, very light shade of pink. It is in fact the lightest shade of pink that any flamingo can be. And they get that light shade of pink from what they eat. They eat a lot of shrimp, and in that shrimp there is a protein called keratin, and keratin turns their feathers pink. Something I ask on all of my safaris. Only 6 people have answered correctly. Just 6. And there is another elephant making an appearance. We're going to pause right here just a moment. And again, you can see that dirt and debris on their backs they've thrown up there while they dust themselves. So what I was going to ask everyone, does anyone know the name for a group of flamingos? This is a tough one. I know exactly what everyone's thinking, and you're thinking of flamboyance, and if you were exactly right. A flamboyance of greater flamingos. So a bit of a highbrow trivia out here in Harambe. You can tuck down in your back pocket. You never know when you're going to need another flamingo fact. We are now in the eastern savanna, everybody, also known as white rhino territory. We'll see if we can spot a white rhino up ahead.
Definitely smell a white rhino.
I do want to keep moving forward because I think I might see something just up ahead, everybody. It's going to be in the grass on your left-hand side. We'll see if we can't identify this animal a little bit better. They are very elusive, known as the cheetah. Keep your eyes open because they use all that area out there to run around. They might be cooling down somewhere because their bodies need a very long cool down period after a hunt. They do hunt during the day. They can run several hundred yards at about 60, sometimes 70 miles an hour. Very fast creatures, the fastest ones in the world, rather. But I think they are going to invade us this morning. It would have been very, very lucky for us to see those cheetahs just because they are so quick and they are pretty reclusive after they need that long cool down period. They hunt during the day as a coalition of cheetahs because their eyesight is so keen the sunlight doesn't bother their eyes as much as it does other big cats known as the lion, everybody. We're going to see if we can spot a lion around these Kopi rocks. K-O-P-J-E, that's how you spell a rock formation like this, usually home to the lion. But it will be very lucky for us to see these animals. They stay inactive up to 20 hours out of the day. They'll spend all that time doing absolutely nothing, just lying around up there. Yeah, I can see the male lion. We're going to kind of double back and we'll come back around to the other side. I saw the male lion's mate and we're going to stop and we can see that a little better.
He's up on a rock. Right there.
Oh, and there's the female, the lioness right there, everyone. Let's stop right here for just a moment to see that female lion. Again, very lucky for us to see out here because lions are such inactive
right
animals.
there.
They hunt during the nighttime because their vision is 6 times greater at night than ours is during the day.
Right up on that rock. See it? straight ahead there.
And look just past her, all the way back there, the male lion in that gorgeous mane.
So that he was.
Let's look at a picture of both of them in there. Yeah, what we're gonna do is come around these rocks and we'll get a lot closer to those rhinos in a second. So I just want everyone to keep their attention on those lions. So we will come back to those rhinos and the bontabucks, everybody. We'll be able to see those in just a moment. But get a look at those lions. You cannot make a picture better than that right there. The sun on the male lion's mane, glistening in the Harambe sunrise over here. I'm gonna stop just here for a moment once again as we come around this curve for the lion up here.
Oh my God.
That is a beautiful look at that animal, the male lion. A lot of people assume that the male lion does the majority of the hunting for the pride, but it is the females. The females are the majority of the hunting for the lions. Sometimes when you're out here early enough in Harambe, you can hear the male lion roar, and you can hear that from 6 miles away. That's how loud that sound is. Coming up on the left-hand side, these are ostrich eggs, about 3 to 4 pounds each, the largest eggs in the world. And on the right-hand
Look
side,
at the ostrich.
a crash of white rhinos. That guy alluded to earlier. They are very large animals, 5,000 pounds each. They can still run 35 miles an hour. And when we see them together like that, they are called a crash of white rhinos, very appropriately named. Now again, these are animals I'm not allowed to stop completely for because they are territorial animals. Let's say that much about the white rhinos. Oh, look right here, the ostrich, the largest bird in the world, everyone. Despite having wings and feathers, they cannot fly at all. They're completely flightless birds, but they can run 40 miles an hour. The fastest animal in the world, fastest bird in the world, excuse me, on foot. So some more about those white rhinos. They get their name from the Afrikaans word white. It means wide, it's spelled W-I-T. Somehow there's a mistranslation between fight, wide, and white, and they got to be the white rhino. They have very wide jaws that allows them to be the grazers that they are. There are less than 3,000 left in the wild, so they are very endangered. Oh, another one of my favorite animals has me into the Magadi Glen. This is a type of antelope, very, very rare and endangered, everybody. Less than 300 of the addax left in the wild. A-D-D-A-X, that's how you spell this animal right here. They have a beautiful spiral horn pattern and formation right there. That's probably what makes them a big target for poachers. Now, my favorite thing about the addax, however, they can go their whole lives indefinitely without drinking any water. Oh, excuse me. It does get very bumpy out here in Harambe. Thank you, everybody, for holding on with me. Is she not? Is that strap not tied up in the front? Yeah, I'm gonna do my best to take a nice and slow around this last curve, everybody, as we exit the Magadi Glen. I think our 2-week safari is just about coming to an end, everyone. I do want to thank everyone for staying patient out with me for all those stops there. And I commend everyone for waking up once again. So thank you for coming out here today. It's not every day that anybody ever agrees to go anywhere with me. So thank you, everyone. No, well, thank you, everybody. Thank you. I'll take every chuckle and applause that I could get. Now, I do encourage everyone, if you still have the time, to check out the Pangani Trails at Pangani Forest. It's right around the corner of Kilimanjaro, local to Harambe. It takes about 20 minutes to walk through, depending on your pace, and you can create your own. There are gorillas, Nile hippos, naked mole rats, meerkats, and other rare birds out there. So I highly encourage everyone to check that out if you've got the time. At this time, I want to remind everybody to grab those purses, book bags, cell phones, cameras, all the above. Make sure we have it all with us.